Breastfeeding is often seen as something natural and instinctive, yet for many new mothers, it involves far more than simply feeding a baby. Behind it is a dynamic system shaped by biology, hormones, and constant adaptation. From milk that changes composition over time and carries immune support, to a supply and demand process that responds to how often a baby feeds. In this video, we'll explore 20 breastfeeding facts new moms need to know. Fact 1. Breastfeeding is a biological way to feed infants. Breastfeeding is a natural way for human infants to receive nutrition. The human body is biologically capable of producing milk suited to early development. This process evolved to support infant growth during the earliest stages of life. Breastfeeding is rooted in human biology, not modern culture or technology. Fact 2. Breast milk changes composition as a baby grows. Breast milk is not static in its composition. Its balance of fat, protein, and immune components shifts as a baby grows and develops. Milk produced in the early weeks differs from milk produced months later. These changes help match nutrition to developmental needs over time. This adaptability allows breast milk to remain biologically relevant. Fact 3. Breast milk contains immune factors that help fight infection. Breast milk contains antibodies and other immune-supporting components passed from parent to infant. These help protect babies while their own immune systems are still developing. Breast milk does not replace immunity, but provides temporary immune support. This role is especially crucial during early life. Fact 4. Early milk is especially rich in antibodies. Colostrum is the first milk produced in the days immediately after birth. It is thicker and produced in smaller amounts than later milk, but it is highly concentrated with immune-supporting components. These antibodies help protect newborns while their own immune systems are still immature. Colostrum functions less like a full meal and more like targeted early immune support. Fact 5. Breast milk is generally easier for babies to digest. Breast milk is biologically tailored to the human infant's digestive system. Its proteins and fats are structured in ways that are often broken down more easily than formula. This can result in quicker digestion and softer poop. However, easier digestion does not imply superiority, only compatibility. Individual responses still vary. Fact 6. Breastfeeding can support parent-infant bonding. Breastfeeding often involves close physical contact, eye contact, and repeated interaction. These conditions encourage the release of hormones linked to bonding. Over time, feeding becomes both a nutritional and relational routine. The bonding effect comes from interaction and responsiveness, not the feeding method alone. Fact 7. Persistent pain is not considered normal. Breastfeeding is often assumed to be painful, but persistent pain is not considered normal. Ongoing discomfort usually signals issues such as a bad latch, positioning, or feeding mechanics rather than breastfeeding itself. When these factors are adjusted, feeding is often comfortable. Treating pain as a signal rather than something to endure helps parents seek support early and avoid unnecessary strain. Fact 8. Milk production works on a supply and demand system. Breast milk production responds to how often milk is removed from the breast. Frequent feeding or pumping signals the body to increase production, while less frequent removal signals it to slow down. This feedback loop allows the supply to adjust to a baby's needs over time. Milk production is responsive, not fixed. The system adapts continuously rather than following a preset amount. Fact 9. Breastfeeding can reduce the risk of diarrhea in infants. Breast milk helps support the digestive system during early life, when infants are especially vulnerable to infection. Immune factors in breast milk help protect the gut lining and limit the growth of harmful microbes. As a result, breastfed infants often experience fewer or less severe diarrheal illnesses. Fact 10. Newborns feed frequently due to small stomach size. Newborn stomachs are very small and can only hold limited amounts of milk at one time. Because of this, babies need to be fed often to meet their nutritional needs. This frequent feeding pattern is normal in early infancy. As the stomach grows, feeding intervals typically lengthen on their own. Fact 11. Breastfeeding can benefit the parent's health. Breastfeeding is associated with certain health benefits for the parent. Research links it to reduced risk of some cancers and support for postpartum recovery. Also, hormonal and metabolic changes during breastfeeding help the body transition after pregnancy. These effects vary between individuals but are supported by population studies. Fact 12. Hydration is important during breastfeeding. Producing breast milk requires water, making hydration important during breastfeeding. The body prioritizes milk production, but low fluid intake can contribute to fatigue and discomfort. Drinking regularly supports overall well-being rather than directly increasing milk supply. Fact 13. Breastfeeding is recommended by many health organizations. Many major health organizations recognize breastfeeding as a beneficial way to feed infants. These recommendations are based on research into infant nutrition, immune support, and early development. Guidance typically highlights benefits while acknowledging individual circumstances. Recommendations are meant to inform caregivers, not pressure them, since feeding decisions depend on context, support, and personal needs. Fact 14. Exclusive breastfeeding is often advised for early months. Some health guidelines suggest exclusive breastfeeding during the first months of life. This means no additional foods or liquids during a period of rapid growth and immune development. The recommendation is time-limited and not permanent. As babies mature, nutritional needs change and feeding patterns expand. Fact 15. The length of breastfeeding varies widely. There is no single normal duration for breastfeeding. Some infants are breastfed for a short time, while others continue for years, depending on family circumstances, culture, health factors, and personal choice. Needs and situations change over time, and feeding patterns adapt accordingly. Duration reflects context and preference, not success or failure. Fact 16. Not all parents can or choose to breastfeed. Breastfeeding is not possible or preferred in every situation. Medical factors, mental health, personal circumstances, and access to support all influence feeding choices. Infant nutrition can be safely met in multiple ways as feeding decisions are shaped by real-life context, not biology alone. Fact 17. Formula feeding is a safe alternative. Infant formula is designed to meet babies' nutritional needs when breastfeeding is not used. It is carefully regulated and supported by extensive research. Babies can grow and thrive on formula when it is prepared and used correctly. Formula feeding is a valid and safe option. Fact 18. Lactation consultants help with feeding difficulties. Lactation consultants are trained professionals who support parents with breastfeeding challenges. They assist with issues such as latch, comfort, milk supply concerns, and feeding routines. Their role focuses on problem-solving and education, while their support is practical and not judgment-based. Access to guidance from lactation consultants can reduce stress and improve feeding experiences. Fact 19. Breast milk can be safely stored when handled properly. Breast milk can be stored for later use under appropriate conditions. Clean handling, proper containers, temperature, and storage time all affect safety and quality. Stored milk retains many nutritional and immune properties. Safely storing breast milk to be used later allows for flexibility in feeding routines. Fact 20. Weaning is a gradual process. Weaning typically happens over time rather than all at once. As babies grow, breastfeeding is slowly reduced while other foods or feeding methods take on a larger role. This gradual shift allows both the infant and the parent's body to adjust physically and emotionally. Slow weaning supports comfort, flexibility, and changing needs during development. Thanks for watching. Make sure you tap the like button and subscribe for more facts videos if you enjoyed this one. Feel free to also leave a comment below if you learned something new. Until next time, take care.